We are liking it, I know it. That's Reckons Entrant versus Column 1 on Shit Catapult Records from the compilation LP The Cosmic Suckers Volume Black and White. Art to Dance is the title of it. And here we are, something like 8 minutes into the programme, no emails. I mean, what's the matter? You know, I'm not just sitting here on my own all night. Session comes from the Cranebuilders, and they are Tommy Roberts, vocals and guitar, Simon Reynolds, guitar, Matt McParlin, bass, and Helen Turner, vocals and organ. And Tommy and Simon both worked in Liverpool's Crane's Music Store, which gave them the inspiration for their name. I won't tell you my Crane's Music story again because I've done it so many times. The Cranebuilders have released material on their own label, 10 People Tell, as well as on London-based independent Earworm. Their latest single, Just Idleness, was released on 10 People Tell in the middle of June. They've just finished touring the UK with Adam Green, but they'll be playing at the ICA. I don't know why the butt is in there, but anyway, they'll be playing at the ICA on the 25th of July with the Zephyrs. And for more information on the band, you can go to www.cranebuilders.net. And for more of their tunes, well, just stay where you are.
Could get to anybody, and pretty soon it got to me. Just like a dog that bites its owner, but who's reliant on the feed. And it's all for love, and it's all love.
obviously you don't know this program terribly well, because quite clearly something called Rolling and Controlling is going to be followed by Rolling and Tumbling. How could it be otherwise? That was Elmore James, and before that it was Silence of the Rolling Tech mix of Rolling and Controlling on Critical Mass Records. And Martin from Leicester said Rolling on a River. And then probably some hardcore 50s grief. John says Ananda in Neath, South Wales. And here's one entirely unrelated to the preceding, but it's, in fact it doesn't say who it's from, but it says, hello Mr. Peel, had a great week listening to some fab albums. Would you please mention me as I'm in Spain, listening to you on the web, and the cafe has stayed open late for me. And Ali Hammond has reprimanded me for using bad language on the radio, and she is right to do so too. Right, where are we now? Oh, and here's an email saying, don't forget you can email john.peel@bbc.co.uk or text 81199. And this one says, evening John, can you dedicate a track to Alan and Sandra Billing, who I love despite being 400 miles away? They'll be sat in the middle of a bingo game. Yours with thanks, Rupert Billing. Rupert in inverted commas, who can tell why. Here's another one from the Cranebuilders. They're in session tonight. I do like this band, I must say. This is called Fallen Arches.
On a steaming kettle, attracted by mine own image, cut to face and fell through the fringe, then just sat in with the times. Outside the license, outdoor. Four cans can mutate into nothing, and nothing amounts to about right. Reflected, removing, revealing. Will you just get out of my sight? And the fallen arches, and the hate and spilled blood, collapsed bridges and carnage, assured that it's all for the good. Ahead is just like a light bulb, the filament rattles inside. It's boxed when it's used and discarded, or broken, or shattered, but dies. And the fallen arches shoot arrows high up in the air. The poison-tipped points act like warheads and come down and land everywhere.
How nice is that? The Cranebuilders in session, second tune from them, which is called Fallen Arches. Chris in Cornwall says, forgot to mention a big thank you for bringing the Cranebuilders into my life. I don't often ask for requests, but it'd be nice to hear the Lurkers Freak Show sometime. I'll put that to one side, Chris, and see what I can do. Actually, not this week, because obviously everything is preordained because of Glastonbury, but maybe next week. And then one here from Bedwetter, it says, but then it says Mike and Carol at the bottom, who perhaps wet the bed collectively. What a ghastly thought. Says, extremely pleased to see the Cranebuilders are in session tonight. I saw them playing with Ambulance and Marlowe in Liverpool a number of moons ago, and even though the place was empty, it's one of the best lineups I've ever experienced, irrespective of the scene that's going on at the moment in Liverpool. These bands are enjoying their own success and own sound. I wish them every success. On that note, could I request a song by Marlowe for me and my sister, who turned 21 today? Actually, there's a Marlowe track in tomorrow night's programme, I think. Or is there one in tonight? No, there's one coming up later on. I should have left this till later, but it goes on to say, neither of us can make it to Glastonbury this year, and we're both very sad. And our Hamid can't go to Glastonbury either. We're enormously sad for him, and are still desperately trying to figure out some way of getting him a ticket, because, this we like to travel together on this programme, one for all for one, that kind of nonsense. And so if anybody's got a ticket that Hamid could use, would we buy it? Am I going too far? Perhaps not, but exchange it for a whole pile of used records or something. But seriously, he should be with us, quite clearly, and otherwise, he's not going to be, and I'm really annoyed about that. Anyway, this is your Kevin Energy and S4. That's Tristan Palmer and a track from a compilation LP called Haul and Pull Up Selector. I can say that because it's the title of the LP, but if I said it in any other context, it would sound frankly ludicrous. But Haul and Pull Up Selector is the title of it. Bad Boys, the title of the track. And before that, 7-inch single from his Soto Records by Uber Hunt, and that was called Welcome to Hothoth. And, there may be another way of pronouncing it, but I quite like Hothoth. Right, where are we now? This is one from G. It says, like the Cranebuilders session, reminds me of Seattle band Codeine on Sub Pop Records. I ran out of breath there. Here's one from just returning to Nottingham from Tony and Diane from Bridge Farm. Say hello to Tony's sister, Sue, here from Australia. Obviously, you get a lot of these things. Hamid could pick up litter for Oxfam at Glastonbury. And do you fancy doing that?
No.
You're not really the litter picking up type, are you?
No, I've done my litter picking days are over, John.
Yes, I can see that from the state of the floor around your desk. That's a bit obvious, though, isn't it, really? The sort of thing that dads say. I apologise for that. And Robin Macclesfield is an avid listener and also likes Cranebuilders a lot, asks that you mention Steve Kesey's mate, who plays drums on the session. And that's most appropriate, really, because we have another tune from the Cranebuilders in session for you now. This is Layoutstretched.
Lay outstretched, and I'll scratch your belly, tickle your ears, and stroke your hair. Your satisfied groan contrasts my envy, the bliss you treasure in sharing our bed. But nighttime leaves you to stare. You fidget and wake me up. And nightmares bring out the worst. Comfort is scarce when sleep's interrupted. Your horrified silence won't make me give in. My foot regains feeling in the space you vacated. Your insulted stares I'll regret at the end. When tears fall like sense of remembrance to hinder my mood and confuse. 'Cause night time brings out the worst. You fidget and wake up, and nightmares bring out the worst.
I think we must have a Cranebuilders LP, actually, before the end of the year, because, well, we deserve it, I think, as loyal listeners and devotees. Cranebuilders in session, and that's called Layoutstretched. And here's an email from Jonathan Ryan, and it says, tomorrow's my wife's birthday. I bought her a present, but I forgot to buy wrapping paper. Terrible. Hidoi, as she would say, in fact, will say in Japanese. Her name is Chihiro, and it would earn me a reprieve if she could hear her name attached to a lovely song. For example, one by the Cranebuilders. Well, there was one for by the Cranebuilders. And first-time emailers to the show. Thanks for the candidacy as a good music. Jonathan, in the region of Battersea, he says. And here's another one, too, on the subject of the Cranebuilders. The Cranebuilders, top quality without a doubt. Neil in the tune. And entirely unrelated to the Cranebuilders, one from Emma in Shropshire. Is it true you attended Shrewsbury School? Thank you for easing the rural tedium. Well, I did, actually, and served there with astonishing lack of distinction. But, you know, you are, if you have a good life and enjoy yourself, and by and large I have done, you're as much the sum of your failures as you are of your successes. And I think it's always worth remembering that. And if I'd gone on and done fantastically well and gone to university, I could be an accountant in Cheshire, is the way I look at it. And I think by and large I've, done better than that. I've had a better time for sure. And Liam Maloney, thanks very much for your text message. And one here from John, no other name given. It just says, just a note to say thanks. I got my last A2 exam tomorrow, and listening to you got me some late night revision sessions. I think I don't know. They're a mystery to me, these things. I don't. I'm glad to get them, and this good one here says this just says love from Glasgow, the entire community. It says Gary Edgar. Oh, it says from Gary Edgar. Just finished my work and I can hear Eminem gig. It sounds awful. There you go. Well, there you go. And thanks for Steph too. Hi John at Glastonbury. Nice tunes. Were you? What? Where are you? Oh, I'm in the studio in London. I'm not at Glastonbury at all, but I will be by the end of the week. I'm not going to go through all of that again, I think. Where are we now? This is Baron, and it's a 12-inch on CIA Records. Meet the Creeper. The VIP mix, no less. Just for you. Ending rather suddenly. That's Marlowe, track from the LP on Pro Plus Records, A Day in July, and I'm a Spy is the title of it. And here's another one from our session guest. Sorry, Cranebuilders did 5 tunes for us, and this is the 4th of them. It's called Something Familiar.
Hands are tied and bound.
That's Christopher Adam Reeves, a.k.a. The Gas Man, on Planet Mu Records, and it's from an LP called Remedial. The track itself is called Dirtbag, which sounds like something you put on athlete's foot, but I don't know what it means. Obviously, it must mean something, I suppose. And here's an email from Scott McGill, and he says, nice to see you out at Sonar once again. I was trying to get your attention when I was down at the front of the Sonar Pro party. I was flailing my arms about and bellowing out the words as you played the cop choir, You'll Never Walk Alone. The Spanish there saw my enthusiasm and inquired, what does this song mean? Well, the pig was standing close to the back, and she said that all the Spaniards around her were joining in, singing along uproariously. And he says, any chance of a plug for my techno-stroke house night at the Mask Theatre? It's called T-Function versus Superconductor, Saturday the 5th of July at the Mask Theatre in Liverpool, City of Culture, indeed. And here's the last tonight from the Cranebuilders. Well, what a good session this has been. That's the last tonight from our session guests. And what is the title of it? Trains Across the Sea is the somewhat implausible title of it. Those are the Cranebuilders, and you will doubtless hear them again on these programmes. One or two text messages that have come in actually, some of these were from earlier in the programme. One says, did I miss your Grandmaster Gareth further information last week, or did you forget? That's from Vella in Aberystwyth. I forgot, actually, to be honest, and I think we all forgot. But we will discover more about the great man. He's a bit of a mystery, but we will continue to look into that, or we will start looking into it anyway. Here's a very puzzling message. It says, keep the sheet work going, I am sat. It's the message in its entirety. And one saying from Jake says, can you tell me what the name of that album by 3 Inches of Blood is called? And it's not in the shops yet, I think. When it is, it's called Battle Cry Under a Winter Sun. And over the weekend I was reading, looking at the pictures in a book by our friend Mike McCartney. It's called Mike McCartney's Liverpool Life, and a kind of modest collection of photographs, just interesting photographs. And some of them were of one of my favourite of the kind of Merseybeat bands. Never saw them play live, of course, because I was in the United States. date, but they were the big three. And from 1964, this is their best track, I think. I love this. So, Mike, if you're listening, this is for you.